Okay, so this is our shooting schedule. We've got on it the date, time, the shots to film, where, who, and what props we're going to use. We also thought of risk assessment because we have got some children who are casting it. So the reason we're not shooting all the shots on the same day is because we've got children cast, and we don't want them to witness any violence in this, because obviously that could be a bit disturbing, and we don't want any upsets. So yeah, basically. And then the next slide is this is our script. It's quite intriguing and mysterious because there's hardly any dialogue. Most of the script's made up from stage directions, just explaining what the character's doing. There's only actually one word spoken. That's quite unique. You don't see that very often. It just explains what the character's doing. It's very mysterious and unique, we feel.
This is our general idea for like the whole film. Like the film's based on like this haunting of a man, and these three like masked children. It's like the children words being like highlighted because we don't actually know if they are children or if they're ghosts or like some other like paranormal activity. And also the children only like psychologically damage this man, but they don't actually hurt the man at all. It's just all psychological. And then after we've done the opening, this is like the rest of the idea. That he has a family as well, but we don't see it in the opening. And this like relationship between the family has been broken like apart due to this like strange phenomenon. And this leads to like this man becoming insane and like killing his like children in his family, but he's still left with that haunting of the masked children as well.
In our opening, we are aiming for a psychological genre. The elements include, to make it a psychological like horror, is the children obviously wearing masks. This creates mystery and shows no identity and an element of suspicion. Some of the scenes show an object, and then in the next scene the object has disappeared. This can play with the viewer's mind. And the use of children as evil creates this is contrast of innocence and purity, and the musical build-up suspense of the
viewer. The characters which we use, there's a young man and obviously the three young masked children. And the young man, he comes across as very calm at the start, but obviously as the events continue to develop, he starts to become very paranoid and agitated, as you would. He's represented at the start as very normal, level-headed. And then he starts to just freak out. And there's a scene at the end where he opens the blinds for the final time and he's looking out for them, and he starts to lose it. You know, he grabs a knife and just starts to go insane. He sits down ready for anything that's going to come and attack him. And then obviously there's the children. Children are usually seen as vulnerable, but in this they're also seen as very independent in their actions. The white masks are used often in horror films, but in this they're also seen as very independent in their actions. The white masks are used often in horror films. Rather than use like more complicated, we've just gone for very plain because we see that would be more realistic to use. But however, in this, they're seen as very eerie and strange creatures. And as I said, the white masks are influenced from other horror films. The Strangers, they're in The Grudge as well, and Paranormal Activity. This is a distribution and production company. 20th Century Fox and Pathé are well-known distribution companies. They're used in the film 28 Weeks Later, which we've been studying part of our media work. We've decided to create our own distribution company called Lobster Distribution. This might be seen as quite a strange choice to use for a horror film, because a lobster is obviously not something associated with anything scary. So we say it lulls you into a false sense of security. It's quite unique. There's nothing else like it out there. On the other hand, though, the production company is called Peeping Tom Productions. It was obviously created by us. And the name Peeping Tom is actually an old horror film, and it's used as a term to describe someone who's like stalking someone. So obviously there's the creepiness about it and the link with horror.
This is the location what we are using. We are like using a house, just a plain and ordinary house, like rather stylish house as well. But instead that's like quite contrasting compared to like the normal haunted house, which is usually quite creepy and eerie, while it's, as you can see, it's just a normal everyday house. And all of these shots here are like the main shots on which we are going to use for the film.
Except for the one in the top corner, which we're not allowed to use anymore.
No, that we're no longer allowed to use this shot anymore because we didn't get the consent for it. So, but the rest of the shots we're allowed to use as well. Also, well, yeah, it's just rather like a stylish house, and it's like not like the everyday haunted house as well. This is like where the main shot will be in the film. It's like we've all said it's like mainly the scariest shot and one of the iconic shot of the film. As in this corner there will be like a young child with like a white mask on, and as our young male character walks across, he does not see like the young white mask, landing the white masks, and he takes his coat off, puts it down, and this is all panning at the same time. Turns the light back on, and then as he walks back over, the child's not there. This creates this like mystery, like where's he gone? I don't know, like why's he gone as well.
We have targeted ages 15 to 25. Our gathered research shows that this is the age range that enjoy horror films the most. We've been trying to incorporate certain shots into our film, from our most popular films, and the most popular films we found were Paranormal Activity and The Strangers, and that was ages like our ages and a bit older.
So this is the plot of the film.